Looks like.
Whoa!
Get the net. It's a big one.
Which side?
I don't know yet. Over here. He's not as big as yours, but he's a really nice one. Between. Dude, you got a big one. Parker's got a big one. Don't pull too hard, buddy. Oh, he's got a big one.
Are you gonna get the net?
Yeah, I'll go get the net. How big is he?
Big. Let's just put it that way.
Dude, he smoked that as a giant. Look at that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're here in December and we've already discussed the top 4 baits, or my top 4 picks for this month. And one of those baits is really the technique of the month that I want to talk about for this one. And I chose this particular one because I think it kind of surprises some people. It may have even surprised you when I talked about using a topwater bait in December, period, you know. And I've caught them on all different kinds of topwater baits, walking baits, buzz baits, wake baits. I've caught them on a lot. I've caught them on every type, I guess, of topwater baits in the month of December. But to me, if I had to pick one style of topwater bait for this month, it would no doubt be the wake bait. That is, to me, that's the top water that you're going to get bit on during the coldest seasons, that you will catch fish on top water. So the technique of the month for this month is, my title for it was the last topwater bite of the year. I guess that's because, I mean, if you catch one in December, it's going to be one of your last ones of the year anyway, especially if you fish all the way till New Year's Eve. But really, you know, I mean, that's, you get to January, you get to February, just as far as the fishing season goes, probably not going to be a lot of opportunities left for topwater fishing unless you just get a really fluke deal that goes on. But December can have some excellent topwater fishing if it doesn't get too cold too quick, or you get some of those, you know, warm rains or kind of stable conditions that can bring that water temperature back up just a little bit. So just how cold will I catch fish on topwater in December? Man, I've caught them down to 48 degrees, to be honest. It's probably about the coldest I've ever caught a fish on topwater. But as far as catching numbers of fish and, you know, good size, anywhere from that 52, 53 up to 55, man, in that range right there, I have a ton of confidence in a topwater bait, namely in a wake bait. You get down below 52 and it really, I feel like your number of bites just really goes down. But 52, 53, 54, man, those can be some of the times when it truly can be the very best bites you can possibly get on. The conditions that's going to make topwater fishing good this time of the year, to me, a little bit different than what it would have been in, say, October or November, that's going to really generate, you know, a lot of those topwater bites. I do still like a cloudy day, okay? I like a day that is overcast. I like a day that you've got a little bit of chop, not a ton of breeze. But I don't like the very coldest, most bitter days once you get to December for fishing topwater. Honestly, in October or November, man, the colder and nastier, the better. I mean, if you catch an early snow or something, dude, that's the day to be out there those time of the year and trying to catch one on top. But you get to December, my ideal day would be, like I said, a cloudy day, a little breeze, but honestly a little bit warmer, you know, kind of seasonably above average. You catch a 50, 55 degree cloudy overcast day, dude, that would be the day to tie on a topwater wake bait to get out there and start slinging it around. Places you're going to fish it, kind of where you would expect, I think, to fish this time of the year, but adding in some of those places where those fish have been in the fall, okay? Back in those flats, back in those little shallow pockets and those type of places where those fish were at a lot of the fall chasing bait and stuff. If you've had good stable weather, those fish will still be in those areas. What you want to look for as much as anything is the warmest water left in the lake, okay? So if you've had a lot of cool fronts coming through, knocking that water temperature down, what's going to be the first places that cool off? Those really shallow places, those places in the very back ends of those creeks and stuff, those are going to get cold quick, just like they did in October. It was good then, This late in the year, it's changing too fast. It's getting too cold. You want to start coming back out towards the main lake a little bit if that's what you've got going on weather-wise. Kind of come back out, maybe at secondary points or its main lake points, back out towards the main basin of the lake where the water isn't cooling off quite as fast as it is way back in those flats and stuff. If you've had really stable weather, maybe even a slight warming trend for this time of the year, sure, go way back in those flats. Go back there super, super shallow. Get back there, you know, in a foot of water or 2 feet of water. And that could be where the bait is. That is just like it was in November. The bait is going to be the telltale sign. Wherever the bait fish are going to be, that's where the bass are going to be in December. So if it's in the back of the creeks, in the back of the hollers and stuff, that's where the bass are going to be as well. But if they've slid out towards those points and stuff, that's where you want to be. One big thing with me, or to me, with a wake bait, that it is really more effective than a walking bait, certainly a buzz bait, something like that, is actually fishing out over a little bit deeper water. So if you've got enough visibility, you know, I'm going to say at least 3 feet of visibility in the water, but 4 or 5 would probably be even better. This thing can really draw fish up from a pretty good depth. If those fish are keyed in on a wake bait and I'm catching them on top, I don't care at all to sit the boat in 10 feet of water, maybe even 15 if it's a fairly steep bank and those fish are, you know, not too far away from the bank. Where with a walking bait, I'm probably never going to sit the boat deeper than 5 feet and kind of making, you know, mostly parallel casts down the bank. With a wake bait, I don't care to sit out 10, 12 feet and make more of a 45-degree cast, you know, kind of quartering at the bank. And I've had a lot of fish come up out of 5, 7, even 10 feet of water, come up and bite that thing when you're fishing those sloping banks like that. So again, you know, one final thought with it, any target you come to, whether that's reeling it down the side of a boat dock, if that's a brush pile or a big rock sticking out under the water, those are always great, very great places to throw a wake bait. But man, this dude right here, if you're looking for that last topwater bite of the year, tie you on a BX Waking Minnow and go start waking that around here this month in December. It's a good chance you'll get to tangle with some big ones. Now the only issue, if your lake has stripers in it, they like this thing a lot too. So you might have to deal with one of those on occasion, but if you're just out fun fishing, that can be a really good time to stretch your string. So see you out there on the water.